Oops, I was muted. Hey, y'all, Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design. Today is Friday, so it is our weekly Q&A day. Let me go ahead and let David in here. While everyone is getting logged in and joining us, I did want to share with you a few cool things here, some updates. Let me move some things around here. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so you can, wherever you're watching this, you can log in and using the link in the description of the video for our weekly Q&A session. You can also go to bridgetbartlett.com, go to the events calendar here, and you will see our weekly Q&A. You just want to click there, and then you can get logged into the Zoom meeting. Something else that I did want to share with you, there is... let me make sure everyone's getting in here. There is a update to the membership area. You can see here it looks quite different. So if you don't see this, log off, log back in. You should see the update here. If you still don't see it for some reason, make sure to clear your cookies and caches to be able to do that. So you will see here that you have everyone has basically the same thing at this point. You'd have the before the done for you setup and then after the done for you setup. So this is basically explaining the system and then how to test it. And then these are just the things that we need done before the done for you setup. Okay, so if you have not gotten yours yet, definitely make sure to do that. Why not, right? Because it's done for you. Also, you'll see here the open office hours. So for the weekly Q&A session, if you click there, you'll see this is where the Zoom is. We have open office hours. You'll see the high-level resources. And the reason that we had to restructure this is because everything is in the knowledge base now. So we don't really have to worry about it just makes it easier to find all of the training. And then also, of course, you have your cloud key resources and your white label suite. Okay. Also, something that I noticed, I get a lot of questions when we have new members and they're like, well, where do I find, it used to be all in one module, but they'd say, well, where do I find the noisy? Where do I find the snapshots? And so this makes it a lot easier when you're looking for something specific to be able to find those things. Only affiliates will have access to the snapshots. It's always been that way. But if you're a reseller and you're like, wait, I don't have that, it's because only our high-level affiliates have access to that. Something else that I did want to tell you as well, on June 7th, I'm going to be doing a training. If you are aware, CloudKey has created their membership is a Empire Mastermind now. And so you can actually go to myvisionagency.com/empire and check this out. There's lots of training, something that David and I did earlier this week that I thought was really cool. They have all of the members get together and you have like breakout rooms, and it's really a great opportunity to get to know one another. There is a special like pre-launch price that they're doing right now. It's only good for another 4 days. So you can see here that, you get an account inside of CloudKey, which is their white labeled version of HighLevel. Also, you get ELMessenger and you get Group Key, and then you also get the reseller licenses. You'll see here that they double the licenses from 10 to 20. You also get Prompt Key, which is kind of like AI PRM, except it's for like HighLevel and ELMessenger, and there's lots of other prompts in there specific to like what we do. So that's really cool as well. Now, if you do use my link, you're actually going to get 100 bonus licenses. Okay. So you do have to use my link. That's my exclusive deal. And so that is a super, super cool bonus. If you guys are interested in that, and it's more of a collaborative thing than what we do. So it's really great to kind of piggyback off of that. So that's really cool as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested, myvisionagency.com/empire. Now, the next thing I did want to tell you, I'm so excited about this. You will see here if we go over to June, you'll see June 9th. For our Q&A session, we're actually going to have Sean Clark, who is the co-founder of HighLevel. He is the CEO, and so he's going to join us for our weekly Q&A session. There's so many new things since the last time I interviewed him. There's so many new things that have happened and that are coming in the future. So he is definitely super excited about that. I think he's going to obviously he's like the king of value. So he's going to definitely bring a lot of value. So definitely, if you ever wanted to talk to Sean Clark, and it's going to be our normal Q&A, you guys are all going to be on camera. You all have the, you all are going to be here in the room, except it'll be like when Andrew joined us, and we will have Sean. So you guys, if you have any questions about HighLevel, he is definitely the one to ask. The next thing, sorry, I'm out of breath. I have my allergies are kicking my butt today. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you is something super cool about Zoom. If you guys did not know, I've been playing around with this avatar feature. So if you go right now, if you're in Zoom and you go and make sure that you have downloaded the Zoom app to your computer, that's a required part, okay? Download the app. When you download the app and then you log in, you're going to see on your screen, and let me take a screenshot here. You're going to see the in the video option, do this here so I can show you, that there is an avatar feature. All right. So my face looks really funny in this screenshot, so it's okay. Here we go. I just want to show you where to see it, and I can't show you. Here we go. Okay, so you guys see this screenshot here? Do you see that, David? Okay, cool. So what you want to do is once you have logged in and you have the desktop app, you'll see choose avatar and show avatar. So you can actually create your own avatar, or you can just choose one of the ones that they already have made. So I'll show you actually what that looks like. So if I go now to my camera and I do show avatar, you can see now I am my avatar. I can also add different backgrounds and things like that. Like if I go to virtual background, you'll see now I'm on the beach. So it's just super cool. So you guys check that out as well. I know a lot of you are afraid to be on camera, and so that's a great solution because it's kind of like a middle ground. Like you don't have to be on camera, but you're kind of on camera. So that's super cool as well. Okay, so that is really the announcements that I had. How is everyone? I see lots of people are hiding here.
Unbelievable. Doing great.
Why don't I see you, Terry?
You can't see me.
Let me see here.
We can see Terry, but he's in slow motion.
Oh, I see. I
What?
see a picture of Terry.
We can see you, Terry, but you're in
Oh, yeah.
slow
Okay.
motion.
I had my settings weird. It was I couldn't see the ones who were not on video. Cool. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Gosh, Terry, I was looking for your smiling face.
Yes. Always.
All right.
It's
So, David,
my
what did you
camera
think?
working.
What did you think of the breakout rooms and all of that stuff? How did that go for you?
I thought it was amazing. As a matter of fact, I wound up connecting with someone who has done a very, like you actually, has done a complete training series on ELMessenger Pro, and very detailed and very step by step, because that's what I'm finding as I'm getting new clients. Either I have to create the training, which I find with limited time is a little bit of a problem, or how do I connect them to people that know what they're doing and can actually have training? And so I met someone that actually had produced it. It's actually just started. I just went through it this morning actually, and it was really, really, really well done. Okay. And so I'm excited about that, and finding other people that It's that when you're a solopreneur, it can be kind of a little bit like, who do I talk to besides my significant other about this stuff, who may or may not share the same passion. So it was really neat being able to find, get connected to and introduced to, and being in the breakout groups, like one-on-one with people. So that was really cool.
Yeah, at first, I was a little disappointed because I was like, oh man, I thought we were gonna like all meet as a group and all of that. And then doing the breakouts though, I was like, this is actually really cool. And it's a good point that you brought up, because I was thinking, man, I really would love to do that with my community. But I would have to restructure everything because I'm already doing this 5 days a week. And I had the same conversation with myself like you had about the training for ELMessenger, because I was like, I could restructure things and then create something where we could do that, or I could just send people to them and then let them gather all of the, the experts and people and do all of that stuff. So that was definitely, it's a good point, because we do have to always consider those things. We kind of were like, this is so cool, I want to do this for my business, but you have to take a step back and think, okay, does this really make sense for me to invest the time and the effort? And then how much is this going to, distract from my normal life and schedule and all of those things? And there's always a solution, but the community is definitely, that's such an important part of the whole thing. Because you can't do everything yourself sometimes. And if you have people in your network who are doing the same type of thing you're doing, there's always resources that you can gather from that.
Right. Yeah. And they put the time and energy in. And for instance, this particular person is looking at what would be a cost factor. What would it cost? So for instance, if just plug and play, there may be ways of creating a membership that includes the cost that person gets remunerated for their training, and you just build it into the system, into your offerings, as an additional bonus or something or whatever. So I'm in the process of, I've been rebranding and with my new website funnel thing, it's like, I've been rebranding, and that I'm going to be talking to Philip today as well, about what's been going on there. So I'm very excited about the thing that I'm noticing is that the community around this is a pretty class act community.
I agree.
There's a lot of really great people. They're not shysters. They're not. They're people that really, for the most part, that I've been finding within the Cloud Key and the Go HighLevel community. Both these communities are really strong in their caring about making sure that you get the information that you need, your support that you need, and it's really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it takes a while to find that, but it's also, if you're true to, and this, I preach about this all the time, if you're true to who you are and your values, and you are open about that, then you attract all of those same type of people. And it's like those people are attracted to you, you're attracted to them, and then it works out to be a great partnership. When I was with other companies that was not like that, it was very clear the people that they attracted, and it's very clear if that is not where you're supposed to be. So I totally agree with you. When I partnered with Cloud Key, I was already with HighLevel, and then I partnered with Cloud Key, and I was like, okay, I think, and then the white label suite guys, like, these people, I think I finally have surrounded myself with the people that are going to help me make my first million. I just feel that so much because of the quality, not just the products and all of that, but their experience and the way that they promote themselves, how they do business. All of those things are really impressive. And it's really important to surround yourself with those people.
Totally right. Yeah.
Cool.
Boils down to one word: character. The type of character you have matches the type of character they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
It's important because you want to trust the advice that you're receiving, and you want to enjoy it. You know, you want to really enjoy it, and you want to believe when someone tells you that something is really good. You want to believe that. It's hard if you don't. You know, once I was talking about, once I got to a point where I felt like Builderall was not a great solution, I had to find something else, because I can't say to people, no, really, it's great. Go ahead and do all this work and build your whole business on it, because I felt like such a fraud. So I could not do that. And of course, sometimes that comes with a price, but it is what it is. But look at now what I have. How cool is that? It's like I'm surrounded by like awesome people. Like you guys are, the way that HighLevel is, it attracts a different audience, a different user. You know, when people are investing in HighLevel, they're motivated. It's like, I don't have to hold anybody's hand like I did, you know, with Builderall. And it's like, everybody is motivated. They're ready to invest their time and their money. They see the opportunity. They're excited about it. They're off creating all these cool things. And it's like, that fuels me as well as it fuels you guys. You know, it's just a super cool thing. So speaking of go-getters, Terry, how are things?
I got a question. You know, I have some questions here.
Of course.
I took the little challenge HighLevel did, and it was pretty awesome. The little 5-day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
How do you add? I set up the taxes. You have to have the. So I'm doing one product, and I'm just gonna promote that. Like you say, I always choose one thing and then go and do that. I had some challenges. Maybe it might be my computer, the new builder. It kind of like my system. The stuff was showing, but when I go to the actual site, it was there. But when I was in the actual builder, my words and stuff was gone. So that was weird. But the taxes, how do we add the taxes to the product when you want to add on when it goes through? Because I did a test mode. Shouldn't the tax show up in a test mode when you do a test through Stripe when you're going through the?
So in Indiana, we don't have taxes on SaaS products.
So the only reason I'm asking is I know HighLevel do taxes. They're in Texas and I'm in Texas.
Yeah. So there is a place inside the sub account here for your taxes to set that up.
Right.
There's also a place inside of Stripe, which would probably be the best way, because I don't know if there's a way to set it up inside of the HighLevel dashboard, but I know that there is a way inside of Stripe. I really can't answer that for you though, because we're not, I've not done anything with it because we don't have to. You know, I practice what I preach, Terry. I'm like, don't worry about it if you don't have to do it.
I mean, I got everything set up. I'm really excited about using, because the part of my market that I'm doing that I could really escalate or really scale that product. And so that was an issue. I fixed my email situation. I have my domain now. I got that all fixed. But in one of my test modes, I tested it and it had still another one, but I figured out that was in the automations where you got the email and they got the name, the sample from email in there. So when I took that out, that fixed that. So pretty excited about that process.
Cool.
It was, what's my other questions? I think that was it. I've been using a lot of Chat GPT, boy. I love chat. I mean, it's just powerful. Just if I could share what I've done, let me show you what I did. It's pretty powerful. And I did everything with that.
It's such a great tool.
So this here is the little challenge, the text back system.
Uh-huh.
So they gave us the site and stuff. So this is what they gave us. Okay. But this is what I changed mine into.
Cool.
So now, in all these captions, everything that I did, ChatGPT did it. I just took what they had and just because I know when you give all these sites out, for you to have some originality, Google don't like having, it's just like networking. Everybody got the same site.
Yeah, that's smart.
So I wanted to make it original. So I changed images, I changed the wording. So now I got everything set up. And I already got 3 people interested in taking advantage of this. So I'm really excited about what they did with this. It's really powerful. So what I was having is the tax thing, because now when I went through here and they had it in test mode, it didn't show none of the taxes. And I know HighLevel in Texas charging taxes. So I'm like, oh. So if they're charged, I think I need to be charging. So this is a thought.
What I would do is create a product before you go live, create a product that's like $1 and then do like a live test. And attach that $1 product to the actual website and that form. And then that way you can make sure that I always like when I'm ready to go, especially when I first started with HighLevel, because I was like, I don't know if this is right. I did all the testing. I did all the testing I could think of to do. And then I just had to do a live test. You could, I mean, even if you didn't want to change the price, you could always refund the money if you really wanted to.
Right.
But you could also just create a $1 product and connect that, make sure the
I
taxes.
didn't think about that part. Tested everything that the test went through, but I didn't. I did it in test mode, so everything went through correctly. But I'm gonna do it in live. What you said, because I was like, oh,
Plus, you just want to make sure that, it's really the only way to make absolute sure is to just be like a customer and test it all out. But yeah, when you have like a high ticket price, maybe, and I don't really like to do refunds, but if you just had the $1, it's like, okay, I can just $1 to test my product. That's easy.
Yeah, I have learned so much more automations. My automation knowledge now is like at a higher level.
I know you're a boss now. It's awesome.
It's pretty exciting on what I have learned now is take it and then what can I do to add to it? And I could just go into it and let me add this, let me add that. Just like in theirs, they don't have no tag. So I had to go back through and tag everything so I could track. So I was like, oh, I know how to tag. So I tagged all my automation, the onboarding, the new sales, every part. So now I can really for myself allocate how many people I done here, how many people have been new leads, how many onboarding, how many that's in this process. And then I have a 10-day tag to remind me when I do an onboard to do a follow-up with them in 10 days. So I can send them something just for myself because I'm gonna forget. So I got a 10-day reminder tag, automations to let me know, hey, this person came in this day, it's 10 days. I need to give them a call. So,
yeah, and you could actually set that in the workflow. You could do like when they come in, wait 10 days and then send, and you could even do like the if else action. So wait the 10 days. And if they don't have like customer tag, then send them to the other place where you send an email and say, hey, I saw you were interested, but you didn't sign up, kind of thing.
That if is powerful.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. I've been messing around with that and it's like, OMG, is like, what if this, I mean, there's so many ways you could, it'd be like a spider web. So.
Yeah, it's so cool. And once because it's kind of overwhelming when you first start using it, because you're like, I don't really, what does it even mean? But then it's like, once you of course test it, but once you test it out a few times and you really understand like how it all works, it's literally like brain explosion. Like I want to add this if else function for every single workflow, because it's like people come in with HighLevel and there's a 14-day trial or there's a 30-day trial. Well, sometimes HighLevel will extend the trial. And so I want to follow up with them and say, hey, I see that, you didn't renew your trial. Did they extend the trial? So having that if else function, if they still have the GHL trial tag after a certain date, then it sends them an email. And if they don't, then I know that they upgraded. And so that whole process is automated. My HighLevel affiliate process is so automated that sometimes I worry, like, how many people have I even signed up? I don't even know, because I don't look at it, and I look and I'm like, whoa, I had no idea all of that was happening.
Right. So on a what if, when it says none, right? So like if you say a yes or no,
Mhm.
and it goes to none, and I'm looking at that none is considered a no. Am I right thinking on the if they
It
don't do nothing?
means yes and no. It means that it doesn't meet the criteria. So let me share my screen here. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. So you have to have your trigger here. Let's just choose a form, okay? Because that's usually how people come in. So let's just choose any random form. We'll just say cancel account. Now, I can choose the if else function here. So this would be and I do like to name my branches. Okay, so let's say they come in or actually, let's do a wait step first. Well, no. Okay, let's do this. Customer. And we're going to say the contact details. And let's say tags, because that's usually what I use. If the tag includes active. Okay, so let's say every time I have a customer, I tag them as active. Now, what's going to happen is they're coming into the form if they have, because that's the way I set it up, if it has the active tag, they're going to go through this workflow. If they don't, they're going to go through this workflow. But there may be multiple criteria and multiple branches. Okay, so when I say criteria, it could be and or, so you can toggle. A lot of people don't know you can toggle over for this too. So you can choose and or. So let's say if they have this tag and they have a first name, okay, just to be generic. Or actually, let's just choose another tag because this is easy. And it includes, or let's say it does not include booked. Okay.
Okay.
So we can say, all right, this criteria right now, the way that it is if someone submits the form, this is great for like support too, because like you may have a form on your website and people have questions, but you have one email that goes out to current customers and one email that goes out to people who are not customers. So that's just one use case for this. So they fill out the form. If they have the tags active and it does not have a tag booked, then they're going to go through this criteria. But let's say that we also have another branch here, and this one is going to be like contact details. Let's just choose another tag because tags are easy. And let's say we want to make sure that it does not include cancel course. Okay, so what I like to do is change this cancel course tag. And then I'll change this to customer and not booked. So now it tells me, so it helps me to keep customize, like to where it makes sense, right? So now they're filling out the form and then we're determining from this step here, what workflow we want them to go into. So are they a customer and have not booked an appointment? Do they have the canceled tag where they canceled a course? If they don't meet any of these two criteria, then they're going to kind of go in this like a dump pile where nothing's going to happen. Or you could say, if they don't meet this criteria, then maybe we want to send them, or maybe we want to schedule a call or something. And then you could choose that.
Bridget, so now I understand why you say tag everything, because tag is where you can create your flow from this right here. So now I can do anything I want based on the tag.
Yeah. Yep.
That
these out unlimited. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no, like, you could keep adding branch after branch after branch. And actually, does it stop? Oh, maybe because I didn't enter that. But yeah, I've seen people have, and you could even, like, let's say that you build this all out, and let's put a wait step, because sometimes they make you. Let's say we want to wait 10 days, like you were saying.
correct.
And then let's do another branch. So we're going to wait 10 days. You could even type in 10 days up here so that you, again, so you can keep track.
Mhm.
So 10 days. Oops. And then now we can use another if else. So let's say if else, the customer tag includes, let's just say booked. So now we're going off at another whole branch, right? So they come in, they had the customer not booked. We're going to wait 10 days. And if they have the tag booked, then they're going to go through this flow. If they did not, they're going to go through this flow.
Instead of creating a separate automation.
Right. Yeah. And what's really cool too, this is why I like to label these things here, because then when people start coming through the workflow, you'll see the little like people icons.
Yeah,
like if someone's waiting here, you'll have this little people icon. And so you can see where people are. And you can also go to the history here and tell, what part of the workflow they're at, or search for their contact here. So if you're looking for, like, I don't know if Linda, I think she signed up, I'm not sure like where in the workflow she is, you can always go to history and look them up here.
Okay, I have a question on that, because I did that and the history showed me that the email didn't get sent. And it had an issue with unauthorized email from my domain is not accepted to DMARC policy. You ever had that before?
That was yours?
Yes, I did a test on the automation, and the email did get sent to me to my test email, and it said it because of I went into the history and it showed me where it failed, and it went in, and I went into conversations, and it showed the history of that test person, and it showed that it didn't go through.
Here is if you go to the knowledge base and you type in DMARC, you'll see it was
that's it right there. That's the exact same one I got.
Yeah. This will tell you why. But since you have, like, you fixed your email, I assume that happened before you fixed the email. Because if you fixed it correctly, it shouldn't show that.
Okay.
But there, I put the article in the chat there for you.
Thank you.
You can check that out.
Pretty cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, that if else, man. And HighLevel just keeps getting better and better. And if you guys have any international customers, I was watching all the HighLevel updates, and there were a ton of them, but it wasn't really anything that I could show. It was basically like everything is getting updated internationally, like where you can view different languages and everything. It's like if you're, in the United States and you only speak English, it's not really that relevant to you. But if you're in another country or you have a lot of customers in another country, that's definitely something that's important, that they are working to make sure everything is getting where whatever the account language is set up, the sub-account language, it will update to the new language, whatever that is. So that's something cool too.
Oh, wow.
Did you guys have anything else? Anything going on? Do want to enter in your names here.
I have another question.
Yeah.
I'm my next phase of research as to how ELMessenger and Go HighLevel integrate with each other. I'm not there yet, with how tags go into pipelines and how collecting email addresses so you can actually create a campaign out of Go HighLevel back into Facebook. Is there something that you've got on that, or?
Yeah. What you want to do is actually create, well, there's a few ways of doing it. I prefer to, let me go to my knowledge base and I'll help you. I prefer to have everyone just go to my website, my main website, the bridgetbartlett.com one, and then enter in their email there. So that's just the way that I do it. But of course, if you're trying to teach your clients, how to do things, then maybe you want to just sell them on that aspect. But let me show you here. If you go to the knowledge base here and you scroll down, you'll see ELMessenger. Let me see. I think I know that I did a training on that, creating a Facebook link, but you can also go to support.cloudkey and ELMessenger Pro, and there is a training in here about the Facebook, what's it called? It's the Facebook link.
Yeah, I think I saw something somewhere down. There's a little link down icon down at the bottom of something where you could send that in for people to fill out their email address. I was just wondering what the best practices really were in regards to collecting email addresses so that you can do campaigns to people in Facebook specifically,
So what I like to do is not, when it comes to the emails, I just like to send them right to, like I was saying, right to my page, right? Like my website. That's my main thing. Like on here, I set people up. I have this post here. I use the engage feature, and then when people respond here, it comments, it loves their post, it comments, sending you a PM, and then I send them a message, and then I say, you can register for all my free training and tools here, and then I give them the link where they use the email. But there is a way that you can use the links here, and you can create your you can create basically like a website to where you install a button on it. And when they click that button, it pulls in the information from their Facebook page, like the email that their Facebook account is on. And so they would just click the button and then it goes into the CRM. So you do have that capability. I don't see where the training is on this. And I know that there was one. ELMessenger links. Here we go. Yeah, check out this training here. I know that I did one somewhere. I just can't find it. And this will show you how to create that. But what I like to do is, like I was saying, do the engage feature here. Another thing, when you are wanting to send broadcast messages, like let's say this one here, you of course create your message segments and your message templates. And then what you would do is, let me go here because I actually have some. What you would go here is choose your automations. So I definitely do have training on all of this as well. But what you want to do is set up your message, and then you can do automations or campaigns. And then, so if you're doing campaigns, it's basically like you're sending, and these are all going to the Facebook Messenger account. So what I like to do is, if I'm using ELMessenger, the main thing that I use for is sending friend requests, unfriending people or marking them inactive. I also, of course, like the messages. So if I'm sending, I can send like a one-off message to everyone. Like, let's say that everyone who commented here with the engage feature, they get tagged a certain tag. And then I could, after I could create a campaign, and then whoever, let's say on day one, when I click to run campaign, all the people who had that tag are going to receive that message. Then the next day or 2 days or whatever, then I'm going to click the campaign button again, and then it's going to send the second message to all the people who received the first one already, but it's going to send the first message in that campaign to the people who weren't in there the day before or the last time. So that would be like campaigns, and then the automations would be like a one-time message. So those are the things that I mostly use ELMessenger for.
I got you. So the campaigning out of ELMessenger and broadcast messaging to people who are tagged a certain way,
Yes.
and then but the Go HighLevel and Facebook integration for importing in email addresses and then using Go HighLevel to do the any type of campaign or workflows to run them into. That seems to be something that, what if I heard you correctly, you're rather trying to connect it directly to from ELMessenger. You're sending people to your website and then having them opt in there.
I just feel like that's the easiest thing for me
Yeah.
to do.
Sure.
But you can certainly, because it's connected API, you can certainly build out your pipelines, even if you're not capturing the email, which you could with the links function. You're tagging them. And since you have it connected with the API to HighLevel, they can still go into your HighLevel account and be added to a pipeline, but you won't have their email at that point unless you're using the link function.
Right, exactly. And I was just wondering how HighLevel then would work with any type of campaigns. If you don't have their email, other than them being tagged, it doesn't go the other direction. It doesn't go right. You have to do the campaigns back through ELMessenger Pro.
Yeah. Or what you could do is edit their contact and then put their email in here. But for me, it just seems easier to just use my main website. And then I don't have multiple websites and workflows and all of that. I just have the same workflow that I use for everything. I just have them go to my website and enter their info in.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that explains it, because I was curious about how all that worked.
Mm-hmm.
And if it even makes sense to spend a lot of time on it other than my own learning process. Yep. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that I learned all of that stuff to settle in on what worked for me was by trying it, and I just felt like when you create the link function, you have to create a different website on a different domain. And then, they click and all that's great. But I just felt like that's just one more thing. So it's just easier for me to just send everybody to the same website.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I got a question, Bridget.
Yeah.
So on the automations, when you're just going through that process, do you tag all your automations? Like if I got 9 different automations, they go into the Zoom link, or they book the appointment, or do you tag those different individual automations through that workflow?
So what you can do here is in this workflow, you mean?
Well, no, I was considering in HighLevel. I mean, tag is a tag, so I guess it will be the same thing.
Yeah, well, it's just a different thing. When you set up an automation here, there's an option when you send it that you can tag them with a new tag. So that you've already sent them a message, so they get tagged with a new one. So maybe you just have different stages in your follow-up pipeline, and maybe you want to take them to stage 2 or something after you've sent that message. So you could do this tag here. So that's one way of doing it. But I tag everyone. So what were you, because when you were asking me that, I was thinking of ELMessenger.
I was thinking of HighLevel.
So I can, yeah.
And no, right. So if you go to look at under the automations, you in one I have 9 different automations for that process.
Yeah, I like to tag everyone for everything that's even kind of relevant. Okay. So if, for example, this form here is cancel account, I would go ahead and immediately add a tag, and I would say cancel account, right? So let's do cancel account. So I know that they filled out this forms. Now their profile is going to be marked with cancel account. Now, maybe down here, I want to say, maybe add a tag that says, waited 10 days after canceled account. Okay, that's a really long tag, but you just get the point, right? So waited 10 days. And then I would add that to this tag. Now, maybe if I get to this point, maybe I want to remove the canceled account and this tag here because we're going to add a new one, right? So I'm going to say remove tag, and then I'm going to choose the tags that we've already added there. So cancel account, and I can't remember what the other one was, but let's just say booked or something.
That's
So
after
I
the
want to
what if.
remove.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then I could go ahead and add another tag. Like maybe at this point in my automations, I know they're a customer when they land in this branch. So I'm going to go ahead, remove those tags, and then I'm going to create a new tag that says active. And then now they're tagged as active. So I know at this point that whoever is tagged active has gone through this whole process.
So tagging things helps me create any automations I want to do. That's based on how detailed is my tags.
Yeah. And I could, when you have a tag here, you can build a whole automation based off of a tag. Right. So let's say this step here is active. And when I add that active tag, then it starts a whole new workflow. So, and maybe since this is called active, maybe that active tag means that they're a customer and we need to trigger the onboarding. So it's going to take their customer information, and that tag being added to them triggers another automation that starts with the active tag. And then now they get all of their onboarding series of emails and whatever else you want them to do.
Copy. Okay.
So yeah, tags are by far, I always say, even if you don't know anything about tags, just use them and trust me, you'll love them. Because of that reason. It's like when your leads start coming in, you can get totally lost and not figure. I mean, once you have thousands of leads, it's like, I don't know if Ray contacts me and he has a question. I don't know where Ray's been. Has he filled out, the onboarding form? Is he even a customer? Is he, or maybe I have a whole workflow that's support and it's in the web chat. Well, everyone can contact me in the web chat. So if Ray is a customer, then I want him going through the web chat workflow for customers. And if he's not a customer, I want him going through a totally different thing. So you're able to segment in so many ways just based on the tag. So yeah.
Pretty awesome. It helps your organization of where people are and where you want to take them. And the stuff you can do, and it frees me time. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. For example, when someone cancels, when they cancel HighLevel, the automations add a canceled HighLevel tag. And anytime someone gets tagged with that, it removes the HighLevel trial if they have one. It removes the HighLevel member tag. It removes them from the membership area, and it sends them an email and says, "Oops, what happened?" And then explains a few things. So that's all completely automated. I don't have any, but and it creates a task for me to remind me to remove their access to their licenses and all of that. Yeah.
Oh, look at David.
Reminders. Yeah. Sorry, Ray.
I said, look at David up there. He's a.
Yeah, I decided to play around. We're having fun. Here I am, my new avatar.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and make sure you have your camera on, because I didn't the other day, and Ray was like, it's creeping me out because I wasn't moving or blinking or anything. I do want to do the wheel thing. Oh, and so I'm gonna give 10 reseller licenses. We're gonna spin the wheel when Sean's here. 2 weeks from today. So I'm going to give 10 reseller licenses to whoever wins on that day. So if you guys are going to show up, I mean, Sean brings it every time anyway. It's so cool. But let me get in here and do the wheel. Now,
when is that, Bridget, with him?
It's June 9th. It's also on the events calendar. So if you forget, you're like, what did she say? Yeah.
Hey, Bridget.
Yeah,
Sorry, I do this every time, I think.
that's okay.
Can you remind me if we have an affiliate like with HighLevel, how it could work for them to like access your training? I think you told me one time, but I forgot.
Yeah, they can just go to myvisionteam.us. You can just give them, and you can see that here. Let me see. Let me show
And
you.
that's like free access for them, right?
Yep. Yeah. Let me find it in here. If you go into your training area, you can always click here to access it, but it's help.myvisionteam.us. So yeah.
For just like they can log. I just can't remember what it includes, I guess. Sorry. Maybe I answered the question wrong or phrased it wrong.
They can access the knowledge base. I mean, of course, they could register for free tools and all of that stuff, but it's nothing that you guys get, because you guys get all of the things that are locked here.
Sorry, you're breaking up on me. I don't know if it's me.
I think it might
Hello?
be. Hello?
I don't know if this is me or you, but I can't hear you all of a sudden.
I can hear you. Can everybody else hear me?
I finally can hear you again. Sorry, it broke up on me for a second.
That's all right. So yeah, they don't get any of the benefits. No, they don't get access to the training area. That's only for my affiliates. But
okay.
In the resource, I thought I had this product. In this resource area where they need login credentials, this is what you guys have access to.
Right.
But,
and so it's only the knowledge base. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, all of these resources and things your affiliates don't have access to. Okay, so let me make sure that I have everyone. Ray, Ricky, David, Terry, Jenna. Is anybody else? Am I missing anyone? No? Okay, let's spin the wheel. Yay!
Yay!
You don't lose the number. I just so dated myself. Ricky, do you want 30-minute private consultation, or would you like 2 reseller licenses?
Oh shoot, did I win again?
Yep.
Actually, I haven't taken the consultation. Still have those other 2 or 3 I have.
You said a private consultation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to actually set up an appointment with you anyway, because I'm stuck on something.
All right. Anybody else have anything? Anything pressing? No? Everybody good? I did want to share with you, though, that Monday's Memorial Day, so I won't be doing live training or open office hours. So I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day.
Do you have plans? What plans do you have?
No plans yet. I don't really like to make plans. I just like to wake up and just do whatever I want. So I'll probably do something, but I just like the openness of doing whatever I want. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all Tuesday. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Bye, David's avatar.